What is going on, everybody? Today, I'm going to be giving my first impressions on a shoe that I have been waiting to try out. And that is, drumroll please, the New Balance 1080 V14s. I couldn't wait. I had to try them on. And I actually even tried them on in the store too, but I filmed a little bit of on foot so I can put that over the voiceover, or I guess this is the voiceover, but essentially, I've been really looking forward to trying this shoe out or trying this model out because I have tried on the previous iteration, the 1080 V13, in store, and oh my gosh, that shoe was mighty comfortable just from a try on perspective. I never really got around to actually purchasing that 1080 V13 because I knew that the 1080 V14 was going to come out. So I was like, you know what, I can wait a little bit. This shoe is $165 at retail, which, I'll give my thoughts on that in the full review. But starting out with the outsole, we have a very similar traction pattern or traction outsole pattern to the New Balance More V5, which some might say is my shoe of the year. Not confirmed yet. The outsole looks to be pretty decent. I don't know. I mean, I literally just tried them on a hardwood surface and, just a hard floor. And so far, I mean, feels pretty sticky and it feels pretty durable, at least from a rubber compound point of view. Moving on to the midsole, which is my favorite part of every running shoe, we have a full length Fresh Foam X. This feels really good. 1080 V14 has the full length 38 millimeters in the heel to 32 millimeters in the forefoot, giving it a 6 millimeter heel to toe drop. Now that does differ from the New Balance More V5, which is kind of the chunkier older brother or younger brother to this model, and that has a 4 millimeter heel to toe drop. But overall, first impressions, there is a gentle rocker in the shoe, which feels pretty good. And the foam just feels pillow-like. Again, since this is the first impression video, I am going to run a quick little 5K. I don't know how quick it'll be today, actually, because my legs are a little bit sore. So I will run a 5K and I'll get back to you guys on how these shoes felt. But moving on to the upper for a first impression point of view, these fit like a glove. They fit exactly the same as the New Balance More V5s, in my opinion. So it feels amazing. The reason for that is because they have this textured heel counter or heel material. I'm not exactly sure if you guys are going to be able to see it, but you can see that it's just like a ribbed, hollowed out section. I honestly don't know what to call it, but it kind of sticks to your ankles and heels in a good way when you put the shoe on. And paired with the gusseted tongue that this model has, including the More V5 as well, the gusseted tongue in combination with this material,
Spectacular. Give me 14 of them right now.
the fit is 1-to-1. I didn't even have to put the runner's loop and I still felt locked in. So I am going to run with them with the runner's loop on. It's just a force of habit, but I have a feeling that this fit, especially during runs, is going to be amazing. Fit my foot perfectly, in my opinion, true to size. It is a little bit on the snugger side of true to size, but it's like my preferred true to size, if that makes sense. So it does run true to size width-wise and length-wise, but it is going to feel like it's hugging your foot. So if you don't like that feeling, you might want to go half a size up. I am a wide-footed person, so if this could fit my Shrek feet, I feel like it should be able to accommodate a wide variety of people. And if you have a narrow foot, it might just be a little bit more roomy. So just if you can try them on, you're not going to regret it. Putting this shoe on, the upper feels really nice and comfortable. So give me a sec. I'm going to go run a quick 5K and then I will be back to give you guys my first run impressions on the shoe. Alrighty, I'm back from my 5K in the New Balance 1080 V14, and this time I am not as sweaty as when I did the Glycerin Max first impression video. That video was posted, I think, yesterday or 2 days ago. That day was a lot hotter, so I am happy to report I'm not dripping wet this time in the second half of this first impression video. But really quickly, let's go over the 1080 V14 after that 3-mile run. Honestly, I'm a little bit disappointed, and there are a couple reasons why. Let's get right into it. So starting out with the outsole of the New Balance 1080 V14, I thought that with that 3-mile run, I ran on the road. It's pretty sunny out here, so didn't really have any trouble with the traction or the outsole pattern. I thought that it gripped the floor plenty fine when I was making turns or I was going around the corner. I didn't feel like I was going to slip at any time. I thought that the traction held up very well, and the outsole looks to be pretty durable, Just from touching the rubber compound, it feels like a nice blend between soft and hard. Now let's talk about the cushioning. So as I said before, this is full length Fresh Foam X, 38 millimeters in the heel, dropping to 32 millimeters in the forefoot. And from a try-on perspective, these are insanely comfortable. It is exactly, actually, I don't want to say exactly the same foam that they use in the New Balance More V5, which is one of my favorite shoes of this year. Actually, it's right here. So for a comparison, I like a quick one. I don't exactly know if this is exactly the same compound of Fresh Foam X, but I'm just going to review this one or give you my first impressions on this one because that's what this video is about. Like I said, from a try-on perspective and a walking perspective, these are insanely comfortable. I think some of the most comfortable like walking shoes that you can put on your feet, in my opinion. So as I said, I haven't ran in the 1080 V13. So when I actually started my run, I noticed something really interesting in the forefoot where when I started to jog, I already felt that I compressed the foam completely in the forefoot and I had a lot of ground feel. I know I'm maybe on the heavier side for runners. I'm 195 pounds, 6'1", but I was not expecting to feel the ground on these just because these are a premium daily trainer. So usually with premium daily trainers, I feel like they may maybe have some ground feel, but they're just a more premium foam in a regular daily trainer. And this one, I just wasn't expecting to feel the ground that much. So I thought it was interesting, kept running. I ran around a 10-minute pace, 9:30 to 10-minute pace for the whole 5K. And overall, I just felt that the cushioning wasn't very impressive to me. That's my opinion. It is on the softer side, and when I started picking up the pace, I did feel that there was a little bit of bounce in the forefoot, but then again, I did really feel the ground in these. The heel is very comfortable. I would just be aware of the heel in this shoe in case you're looking for a more stable option. Obviously, this is not meant to be a stability running shoe. This is a neutral running shoe, but if you're kind of like me where maybe you start to overpronate after, 10 miles or once you get tired, this shoe may not be the best for you because the heel is pretty soft. And I felt that when I kind of like tested it and tested the stability of the shoe, the heel still felt pretty soft. So I don't think over the long miles, or I'm hypothesizing that over the long miles, these wouldn't maybe be the best stability options, or if you run in a lot of uneven terrain, just because the foam is a little bit on the softer side. I could deal with, maybe a lot of ground feel and, the cushioning maybe not feeling as soft or as comfortable as I was anticipating just from an initial try-on perspective. But what I could not deal with was the amount of midfoot pain that I had. It felt like a pinching sensation on both of my feet in the midfoot section. And typically I get this in, maybe basketball shoes where I'm wearing really thick socks, and it takes 1 to 2 basketball sessions to break the shoe in, to break in the materials, maybe break in the midsole. So I do think that there is a possibility that I can break this shoe in. Maybe I'll give it one more run and see if that pain goes away. But it was pretty prevalent, and it happened around a mile or 1.5 miles in, and it hurt the rest of the way. So my feet are still recovering. Pray for my feet. So that was the major downside I felt running in the 1080 V14. Now, speaking of the fit was absolutely phenomenal. So I don't know if that pain was caused by either the upper material or the fit or the midsole, but it definitely did hurt. And I don't think it is the fit because the fit just fits like a glove. Like, I think these are some of the best fitting shoes next to the New Balance More V5, which is the shoe that I just showed you. I think that the heel lockdown is perfect. The gusseted tongue is like a hug on your foot, and the materials are pretty soft. They're not the most breathable shoes. I already felt that. There wasn't a lot of airflow through my feet when I was running, but this upper was very solid. It's pretty soft and it's on the thicker side. So if you run in very hot areas or ventilation's a very big deal to you, then maybe pass on these. But the fit, if you love a nice snug fit, this shoe is gonna do really well, and it's gonna lock in that heel with this nice material right here. So I personally really love this whole upper setup. If all running shoes could be made like this, I would be a very happy camper. The one major problem that I found with the shoe was that pinching sensation in the midfoot. So I'll give it maybe one more run run, and we'll see if I can even do a full review in these, because I typically like to do a half marathon or more, like a long run, and also do a little bit of tempo work or a little bit of faster runs in shoes before I give the full review. But from a first run perspective, I think that the cushioning maybe isn't as good as I was anticipating it to be. Maybe that's based on my own high expectations from me liking the other New Balance More V5 so much, or it's just not that good. So so stay tuned for the full review if it even comes out. Overall, I was a little bit disappointed or a little bit let down in the actual running experience for the cushion. The upper is A1 unless you really need a lot of ventilation, and the outsole I had no problems with. So that's gonna pretty much wrap up my first impressions or my first run review of the New Balance 1080 V14. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of the shoe, if you're gonna try the shoe, if you're excited about the shoe, or what shoes you're excited for. And I will also continue to put on miles in the Brooks Glycerin Max. That review is definitely going to come before this one, if this one even releases or this review releases. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one.